Hello YouTube, Sam here from youtube.com/onlivegamer for the new Boston. And in this tutorial we're going to be finishing our customer application, and then after this tutorial we're going to be simplifying things a little bit and just be looking at array lists themselves and some of the stuff that you can do with array lists. So if you remember from the last tutorial, we made this right here and we overrided the toString function so that when we click list customer it gives us the information that we want. Now if you don't know what I'm talking about, go ahead and move back to one of the earlier tutorials and you should see how we did this. Now what we're going to do in this program is whenever the user selects one of these, it's going to automatically fill in these fields right here with the selected information. So what we'll do is we'll come back here in our code, and if you remember, we created this display customer sub right here, and what it does is we pass a customer object to it, which is a structure, and then we set the text of text name to the customer that they passed, and then the name property. Then we did the first name, the last name, and the email, all of this same customer structure, and we set them to text first name, text last name, text email, and text name, which are these text boxes right here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to select our list customers list box, and we're going to be working with some of the events. So if you click the lightning bolt, it will open up the events for you, and you can see that we've got a whole bunch right here, and what we want to do is we want to select selected index change. So I'll just double click on that and it'll create this sub for us. So now inside this sub we are just going to reuse code that we've already created, display customer. And this is why subs and functions are so useful, because you can reuse the code in different ways that you may not think of at first, and it makes programming a lot faster and a lot easier. So what we're going to do is we're going to call display customer, and we're just going to pass the customer that the user has selected. Now to do this, we're going to have to create a property. So we'll come up here and let's just get some of this code out of the way so it doesn't confuse you, and let's just do it right above list customers. So what we're going to do is we're going to type private, and we're going to make this property read only because you're not going to have to do any changing of values. So we'll type read only property, and we're just going to call this selected customer, and the type is going to be the customer type. So it is we use the customer type and it's a read only property. So now what we're going to do is we are going to get the current index that is selected, and we're going to try and convert that to a customer object. Now it will work every time because it's not possible for them to add any other items to the list that aren't customers. So what we're going to do is we're going to type return, and what we're going to do is we're going to take the selected customer that they have in the list box, and we're going to convert that to a type customer. So what we're going to do is we're going to use ctype, which we have learned in earlier tutorials. So now what we're going to do is we're going to type object customers. Okay, sorry about that. We're going to use my customers instead of object customers. Now my customers is our array list that we have here. So what we're going to do is we're going to access an index of that array list. Now since everything added to our list is by index, let's see, let's just comment this thing out real quick. Okay, so since everything that we added, oh yeah, let's comment that out too. Okay, everything that we added is by index, so this right here is of index 0, this right here is of index 1, and this right here is of index 2. And this is of the array list, so index 0, 1, and 2. And it is the same in the list box. We got lucky with this. So the list box, this is index 0, this is index 1, and this is index 2. So they're going to be the same. So we can get the index of the selected item in our list box, and we can use that index in the index of our array list. Now this might be a little confusing, but we'll go ahead and type this out so you'll see what I mean. So we're going to use Control Z, and we'll uncomment it. So we're going to use the index that is selected in our list box. So we'll just type list customers dot selected index. So what it's going to do is if they select index 0, which is Sam, it's going to get the item in the array list my customers at the index of 0, which is going to be Sam. And so we're going to get that, and we are going to try and convert that to the type customer. So we'll just type customer, and that is our second argument because we're trying to convert it to a customer. But what if they haven't selected or what if they selected index -1, or no index at all, because it starts at 0, and if the index is -1, that means nothing is started. So we can just prevent an error from happening by typing if list customers dot selected index does not equal -1. So if it doesn't equal -1, then it's going to go ahead and return this right here, and we will go ahead and end if. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to come down here and we're going to uncomment this code. So we're just going to go ahead and type display customer and then selected customer. So what this is going to do is get the current selected customer. So it's going to select customer is going to be equal to the customer at the index of whatever you've selected. So, and then display customer will add the name, the first name, last name, and email to these text boxes. So let's go ahead and run this and see what happens. We'll go ahead and click list customers, and if we select one of these here, you can see that it adds them to these text boxes right here.